there, everyone. Welcome on into VGMporium. I'm the proprietor of this fine establishment, Rage Cage, and today we'll be taking a look at music that were used in videos created by one Anonymoose. So now you may be asking, but Rage, who is this Anonymoose? Well, just calm down, I'm gonna tell ya. Anonymoose creates videos that are spastically entertaining using SFM or Steam Filmmaker, which is a program that you can use pretty much any asset from whatever game you have on Steam, I think. I'm not quite sure on how it all works, but you can use them like, character models, items, whatever, and just make videos of it. Like, you just rig them up and animate them, or they get animated depending on how you set your animations. I think you can make them move their mouths to audio and stuff. But what Anonymoose does here is pretty special. They actually take the models and actually have them move in time with the music that they're using. And a lot of the music that they're using is stuff that I have listened to in the past, like a lot of digital fusion, or in the case of this here song, a video game music. So this is This Way That from Mario Party 2, composed by Hironao Yamamoto, Shohei Bando, and Kazuhiko Sawaguchi. And this time around, I'm not going to get into their history a bit. The other songs, they're all by one person, and I'll be getting a little bit more into them because they're individual artists, and I want to highlight them as well. But the video that this song was used in is called Duck Shoes, and it opens up with that drum solo intro, showing a sign saying, animals are stupid, lol, and then a bunch of protesters out front saying, animal cruelty is bad, and then all of a sudden, Coach from Left 4 Dead 2 comes out of nowhere with ducks as shoes, and he's just dancing, and that quacking sound you hear in the song is just the step of each duck, and the ducks are making that sound, and he's got a cane and a top hat, and he's just making weird faces at him, and then the ducks come up and quack at him, and he's kind of agreeing with them just with facial expressions and stuff, and it's just really fun to watch. It's again, time with the music. The facial expressions that Anonymous gets with these character models is just great, because they're just so, I don't know how to explain it. It's just, they're not hyper grotesque or overly done a lot of other SFM or Gmod videos where the facial expressions are put to max and they're just distorted and everything. For example, El Toro RS64. But back to Moosey. This is actually the first video of theirs I saw, and from there I just kind of went down the rabbit hole. But unfortunately, or maybe better fortunately, the release of videos are pretty sparse. A few years ago, he was maybe doing 2 a year, and now it's been 1 a year. And, that's because there's a lot that goes into these videos, just all the little nuances and movements that go with every single sound that's in the song, not just the main melody, but every single thing. And so now the rest of the music that I'll be highlighting today is actually more of digital fusion or demo scene stuff, or, everything in between that. So case in point, the next song we got coming up. It's called Playing with Delay, a 4-channel .mod, originally by Heatbeat, and used in the video Birthday Boy. And that was Playing with Delay by Heatbeat, used in the video Birthday Boy, created by Anonymous. Now in this video, we see a Heavy from Team Fortress 2, but with a bird head, and he's singing this beautiful song, and he's just really getting into it, dancing about, and then he's interrupted, quite rudely, by this Brontosaurus with a birthday hat on, and you can see the bird face is just really disgruntled by this, and he's just, the thing's just singing him a happy birthday song, or something like that, and then the bird just kind of accepts it and starts singing him a song again. So now this video was made about 8 years ago, and it's not the first appearance of the Bird Boy. Just sometime before that, there was a video called Birds, B-E-R-D, with Heavy Bird and Medic Bird. And, I can't quite remember what they're doing, but, it's ridiculous. And this will definitely not be the last time we'll see Heavy Bird Boy. So now, I'm kind of feeling a little bit like a fool because I didn't realize that, so if you remember last week, I did that VGM Rips highlight, and one of them was something called a Korean Player, which was created by Alexei Ebon, also known as Heatbeat. Well, this song is by Heatbeat, which is Alexei Ebon. So yeah, I pretty much filled you in on him last episode, but, I'll give you a quick rundown. Demo scener since the 90s. Got into making Game Boy music in the early 2000s. Would go on to keep doing demo scene and creating software for the Commodore 64 and the VIC-20 all throughout the 2000s, and still making music today. So that's 2 times in a row he's shown up without me really intending to do this, so I might actually have to look more deeper into him and maybe even do a focus episode on the guy. And hey, who knows, maybe even reach out and see if I can get him on here eventually. Big dreams. So now moving on. The next one I got for you is Chiltonwalk.temp from the album .temp by Graham Cartna, used in the video Beach Bird. And that auditory delight you just heard was Chiltonwalk.temp by Graham Cartna from his album .temp. Used in the video, Beach Bird, created by Anonymoose. And in this video, we see an ostrich just having a grand old time dancing on the beach, and then out of sudden, a doorway pops open. It goes through the doorway, and then through this doorway is in a dark forest, and then is greeted by a wizard with just eyes and gloves and a hat. It gives him a present. What's inside the box? It's a pair of Gucci boots! And the bird is very much happy about this, dancing with it, and the wizard tells him, go this way to a gate. And the gate's there, and the gate's just got these big old googly eyes, and, the bird starts dancing, making moves, and the gate starts dancing with it, opens back up, and then the bird scoots right through, back onto the beach with its new Gucci boots, and gets another present, which is a little wizard hat, and it just continues dancing on the beach with its boots and wizard hat. So now in this, every time you hear that sound, that's the ostrich just making noises with his beak, open its mouth beak, moving with the music, dancing with the music, and then everything is just moving with the music. Every single little movement is part of, is going with the music. And again, this is why it takes Anonymoose so long to do these videos, because they're just so meticulous at capturing every single little thing in there, and they're just amazing and just great to watch. So now, Graham Cartna. I personally discovered this guy back in 2015 with his album Ideation Deluxe, which is kind of made to look like a Windows 3.0 95 game, kind of game cover thing, and it's a pink little blob on the front and everything. But the song that I first heard was called Wilton Clarkson James, and that one is just again, another delight to listen to. It was like kind of just blew my mind when I first heard it because I had never heard anything like it before. A lot of his music is just like using these samples just so well, and has like this weird kind of like detuned vibrato sound to it most of the time. And I don't know, the closest I could think of to something I heard before this was Max Tundra, but that was a little bit more like kind of frenetic and high-pitched stuff going on and more poppy. His stuff is kind of a weird mix between pop, digital fusion, and demo scene, and I don't know, it's like, all I could call it is just like hyper collage or something like that. And he's been making music for quite a while. On his Bandcamp, the first EP on there is called Tint 5 EP, released back in 2011 under the name Poopy Face. And, I'd imagine, he's probably making music before that even. And hey, just recently, just a few months ago, this year of 2002, for those of you in the future, he just released another album called Toot Toot, and it is a really good listen. I would highly recommend you go check it out. I'm going to link his Bandcamp in the show notes. Do it. Now, moving right along at a nice clip, this next song coming up is called Flow by Tregs, used in the video Hocus Bogus. So that was Flow by Tregs, used in the video Hocus Bogus, created by Anonymoose. So the setting is a dark forest. We see a wizard with a table set up and magic of paraphernalia and a cauldron. And he's looking around, and inside the cauldron is a cat. You see the green stuff bubbling around it. And he's looking through the book, and then he sees his wand. He grabs his wand. He's making kind of dancing moves at it. He doesn't want it, but then he feels another force coming, and a great staff shows up. And from there is just utter nonsense. Him just bouncing back and forth on his feet, casting spell, falling dead. Staff shows up with a gun, and then he flips it off, slams it down on the back of a car, arrests it, and then goes and then casts a spell on the cauldron, and then some strange man in a cat suit shows up and then jumps back in. Rainbow lycra suit with shades and a great pompadour, and just chaos breaks out, and then it turns out the guy is in a black lycra suit and a pompadour, and his nipples are showing, and he's typing on the keyboard really fast. You'll hear it like that, and just breaks the wizard's mind and just causes him to huddle into a ball and rock back and forth. You go watch the video, you'll see. It's what my words don't do it justice. Now, Moosey here put a lot of work into this video. Part of the reason being because this was going to be featured on Adult Swim when he was making it, but then it got rejected, and so I'm probably imagining that might go into the name Hocus Bogus, because, it's pretty bogus that, this video didn't get featured on Adult Swim, and probably the one positive takeaway is that this video definitely pushed their skills to the next level. And speaking of next level, this song right here, Flow, holy crap! Can I have you believe that this was made 7 years ago? Well, you best believe it, bucko. And the one who done made this, Tregs, he has a SoundCloud, and the latest thing that is on there is about from like a year or two ago, and not much information on the SoundCloud profile, but I did find Marmoset Music, which I'm imagining is a label, and it has a description of Tregs here. Tregs is the musical moniker for Arizona-based producer Jonathan Treguboff. Tregs songs combine big driving beats that could be rapped over along with interesting samples and textures to make driving and pumped up jams. And that sums it up pretty good, I guess. Unfortunately, that's all I could find on the guy. So now this brings us to an insanely fun track. This is Garland Beach from Plock, originally composed by Tim Fallon, remixed by the Relay Bros, used in the video Ghost Bubber. you just heard Garland Beach from Plock, originally composed by Tim Fallon, remixed by the Relay Bros, this time made up of, in this order, Dread, Sen, Tud, Black Carrot, Zemo Saga, Cosmo BG, Dex, GXSCC Hater, Jogurt, Tom Miller, and Blue 3. And this was used in the video, or at least the two parts by Sen and Dex, in the video Ghost Bubber, created by Anonymoose. So now in this video, we see once more Heavy Bird Boy. And after so many adventures of having his birthday kind of slightly spoiled by the Brontosaurus, having to deal with a slightly murderous friend and a few other things, and he is now a ghost bubber, and he is here to bub some ghosts. But, he's singing his song so epically, and he's just getting so into it, and once more, he is rudely interrupted by the ghost. And so now this ghost, he just wants to make friends, and he wants to learn how to make friends, so he has a book, How to Make Friends. And so he sings this song, a spooky, ghostly song, and just blows a balloon, does that, snaps a photo, hey, you got caught in the scare cam. And he's surfing, and he just wants to be his butt, points at the, Heavy Bird Boy. But Heavy Bird Boy, he ain't having none of that shit. He just pulls out his gun and bubs the ghost. And bubbing himself in turn because it's a big explosion. Short, sweet, and to the point. So now this remix here, hooty booty howdy. So a bit about the Relay Bros. It is a project that was organized and started by the collective efforts of Swordmerd, Sen, Dia, Dread, Drexiger, and Tony Lees. And the idea behind it is a project where everyone makes pieces of the same song with its own unique touch, forming a relay arrangement. The challenge is to surprise the listener and your fellow musicians with your incredible style. The result is a crazy mixture of awesomeness that grows from love and fun. And this was roughly started about 7 or 8 years ago. So now a few of these names may sound familiar, such as Dread and Cosmo BG from my Sega Mega Drive Genesis chiptune scene episode, as well as Tony Lees from the follow-up episode. And surprisingly, this one slipped by me, was Tom Miller, who I featured in my Overlooked Remix episode, episode 4, and he went by the name Palmapella. And this kind of just now blew my mind to find out that this was the same guy. Now that makes 2 surprise finding out who this artist was in this episode type thingy. But back to this remix, it's just insane that they were able to make all these styles, like clashing styles, kind of like fit together and work together. And, it's Tony Lees who's the main organizer behind this whole thing. And, so he put it all together, like taking all these disparate parts and making them fit. And, just insane talent right there. And hey, Martyrus, my pod bro, if you're listening, definitely check out Relay Bros because it's some good material for your podcast, Re-VGM. And for everyone else listening, check out Martyrus' podcast and check out the Relay Bros. All really awesome stuff. So moving right along, the next song I got for you is Fightin' Sahara by P&G Sequence, originally called Brain Foam, and in between that time, Joe Ack. And this was used in the video Desert Danger. that was Fighting Sahara by PNG Sequence, and formerly, in this order, Joe Ack and Brain Foam. And it was used in the video Desert Danger, created by Anonymoose. In this vignette, there's a man in the desert wearing no shirt, shorts, boots, and some kind of desert scarf with the matte face part down. I don't know what to call it. I want to call it a shofa, but that's what my Wheel of Time nerd braid wants to call it, and that's not right. But anyway, he's just stomping through the desert to the music, got a slap in his leg, doing all this stuff, and doing some nice little jig, and then he's interrupted by a camel. They get to talking, and then they do some rock, paper, scissors. Camel wins a crown, and, Desert Man is just disappointed. But then a snake appears. It is a cobra, and it's got the crazy eyes going on. They're planning. He's telling them what to do. He's going to do this thing and then he drinks a little thing, and then puts on a hat on the snake. And then they're all happy. They start walking together, and then Desert Man grabs the snake and uses him like an air guitar. And Snake, don't do that. And he's like, oh, sorry, okay. And then he puts him down, and then they all just thumbs up, and then goes off into the sun. Again, go watch the video. It's far better than what I'm explaining here. And again, it's just every little movement is just to the music. Anonymouse's attention to these little details is just admirable. It's astounding. Now for this song, I can't quite figure out if this was made specifically for this video, because on PNG Sequence's SoundCloud page for this song, he links the video directly in there, so I don't know if that was afterwards or not. Or I definitely confirmed this is not a Battle of the Bits entry, because it's not on his Battle of the Bits channel. Maybe I'm looking on the wrong one, but yeah, this guy, PNG Sequence, they are just like one of those non-stop music machines, just constantly making music. At first I thought it was because of Battle of the Bits, but he only has like 20 entries on there on the Brain Foam account. But anywho, PNG Sequence, formerly Brain Foam, is just really awesome music maker. I really like their music. I've been listening to it for years now, and my favorite one will be eventually making a feature on one of my episodes. It's kind of doesn't fit that aesthetic that I was exactly looking for, but it is a certain kind of theme. And yeah, look forward to that on the 3rd episode of that. If you know what it is, you know. If you don't, that's going to be a surprise. And now this song, it's like some weird, wacky combination of Shantae and Earthbound and a few other things I can't quite name. It's like just, it's there. It's just, it's PNG Sequence. It's Brain Foam. That's all I can say. Other than seriously, go check out their music. So we're getting to the last here. This is World Orca by Jack from Staff Cirque Volume 7, Terra Octava. And this was used in the video Foul Matter. just heard World Orca by Jack from Staff Cirque Volume 7, Terra Octava, used in the video Foul Matter, created by Anonymoose. And in this mind bender of an adventure, let's start off by saying what Anonymoose says here is that he found a USB 2.0 port in his brain, and this is what got uploaded. And it starts with a brain on a pedestal. And we zoom in and out of it, and then it flips around, and there's a front part of it cut off. And then an arcane symbol shows up, and then we go inside the brain, and we go through this tunnel vortex thing flying around, and we see images of an ostrich with a wizard hat. It's this ostrich from the Beach Bird, and he's just like got all this stuff. He's got crazy eyes. It looks like he's gone mad. And then he grabs you. He gets in front of you, and he starts singing at you as such. No idea what he's saying to us. It's just arcane symbols flying around. He's just punching himself, slamming his desk, grabs you, just tells you what's going on, and then just slips back into the vortex. Oh, there he goes. Look at him go. Oh, he's just going away. And that's where it ends for now. And for this first portion of the video, it's just like amazing. Like the textures are really good looking, like, you know, all the models and everything, and just he's really just pushing his skills, Anonymoose is. And in the description, he says that he has like 5 to 10 hot new ideas in the backlog. And so, you know, this is made a year ago. Hasn't released anything new lately, but, you know, except a few like maybe demo things on his Twitter, their Twitter. And I eagerly await what they have coming up. And now this song is just some crazy digital fusion adventure. Just like constantly changing, kind of staying the same, but just going all over the place. And, you know, I wouldn't expect any less for anything that is part of Staff Cirque. So what is Staff Cirque? Well, it is a collective that has been around since 2015 with their first release, Staff Cirque Volume 1, being actually released by Ubiquitoons, but now they're actually their own label. And, you know, that one was focused around like frogs and kind of had this vibe of almost being like an homage to Yoshi's Island with some of the tracks. But Staff Cirque, its main focus is highlighting the best of digital fusion. And what digital fusion is all up to your individual interpretation. You know, for me, I see it as like, you know, electronic music that uses elements of jazz, video game, like stylings, like, you know, using 8-bit sounds or like sounds from like video games. And just so many things, just mashing them together into like this wonderful sluice of just auditory delights. So now as for Jack, on their SoundCloud, they say that they are possibly a member of Staff Cirque. But the last thing they made, released on there at least, was from 3 years ago on their own personal accounts. So what they're doing now, not quite sure. But what they have made is great to listen to. And again, go check them out. Listen to all their musics. Again and again, I'll say, check out these videos on Anonymouse's channel on YouTube. What I describe here, it does not do justice to what, like, you know, the visuals is going on. It's just, yeah, just do it. Go and do it. Why am I telling you this? Why are you not doing it right now? All right. You can do it after I get done spieling at you. Well, thank you once more for coming into VGMporium, video game music and more. This was most definitely an and more moment. And you can find it on all your favorite social media, such as Twitter, Instagram, as well as your podcatchers, such as Spotify, Apple, Google Music, Amazon, Audible, Stitcher. It's probably out there, whatever. It's on those things, and whatever other patchers pull from those, it's on there as well if you use those things. I don't know. And I've been your spastic host, Rage Cage, and you can find me on those same social medias, as well as on SoundCloud, where I post all my original musics, mostly chiptune. And so now a fun little announcement. As I mentioned last week, my birthday is coming up on the 17th, and I share that birthday with Mega Man to the date and year, so we're both going to be 35. So next week's episode is going to be a focus on Mega Man's music, kind of like my personal experiences and celebrating the guy, the little blue bomber. And then on the 17th, I'm going to be doing a birthday special episode thing. I'm still figuring it out. Any suggestions? Hey, throw it my way. And so now before I go, there's actually one more half of that video. So in Foul Matter, so after the wizard bird goes back into the vortex, everything kind of fades out. And then a picture that was on the desk, which is of this strange pink bird guy, shows up. And it's just very somber, not quite sad, but not quite happy. And, you know, it just flashes pictures of this little pink bird guy, you know, wearing a hat saying, "Love barbecue grillin'," a shirt saying, "Go Team Slam Dunk," and then finally, with a red cowboy hat and a shirt saying, "It's not easy being the cutest cowboy around." And then it just slowly fades out. So, I will play for you this song, "It's So Quiet Here," by Telebasher, used in the second half of the video, Foul Matter, by Anonymoose. See y'all next week.
you